So your argument is baseless. But of course it was not. Of course it proves that according to Hadhrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, according to the way sent to him, bestowed upon him, he knew that Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam had neither ascended nor would he descend bodily. So the ascent to the heaven is ruled out anyway. Now we attempt to trace his journey. That is all we do when we say that perhaps he is buried in Kashmir. But if we fail to prove it, it does not make any difference. One thing certain, wherever he went, he did not go bodily to the heavens. So it is a genuine search for him in line with certain indications of the Holy Quran and the Bible. So this is what I tell the Ahmadis. It is not something on which the truth of Ahmadiyyat is hinged. It does not hang upon the proof that Jesus is buried in Srinagar. Wherever he is buried, it doesn't make any difference to the belief, because our belief is based on the Quran and the New Testament. In those areas where both join hands. So let me develop this a little further. If Jesus did not ascend to heaven, as I have proved he did not, according to the Quran, if he is not found anywhere after crucifixion, if the New Testament informs us that when he was seen after the crucifixion, he was still alive. If the New Testament further elaborates the point by telling us that when some of his disciples thought that he was a ghost, he rejected this idea and said he is not a ghost, and said that he was not a ghost, and invited them to come and touch his wounds and see for themselves that he is the same person who was attemptedly crucified. And with the same wounds he was walking around. And then, according to the testimony of the New Testament, he was moving away quietly from Palestine to somewhere else. He made it certain that he is not seen by the enemy. He always appeared at night to his own people. And when suggested that he should enter the cities, perhaps the purpose was the whole world should know that he was right and they were wrong, he refused. Now, why does he do that? If you understand the phenomenon of migration of prophets, then it becomes crystal clear why he did it. The Holy Prophet never hid himself from any danger during the Meccan life or in the Medinite life, except during the Hijrah. So the prophets of God are told, like in other cases, when Lot was instructed to leave, said, do it slyly and quietly before the break of dawn. So Allah knows best why it is done, but the prophets in migration always have the same style, are migrating in hiding. The rest of their life is open and fearless. So Jesus Christ was so bold as to repeatedly make claims which were offensive to the society, of being that Christ who they were awaiting. Did not fear what may have happened to him. But at the time of his migration from after crucifixion to somewhere else, he displayed the behavior of a prophet in migration. The question is, it's a big event. Is it anywhere mentioned or hinted at in the Old Testament or the New Testament and also in the Quran? Now coming to that, you must have read, if you read Bible, have read Bible, that Jesus Christ promised them that he would leave them and go in search of the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This was a clear promise given by Jesus Christ to his people, that he would leave them and go in search of the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Did they really lose a herd of sheep, a flock of sheep anywhere? No. It was the children of Israel who were mentioned. So this indicator leads us to the history of Israelites when we read that in the age of Nebuchadnezzar, 10 tribes out of 12 were driven out of the mainland of the Israelites, and only 2 were left behind. So they were the lost sheep of the house of Israel, the 10 tribes. So Jesus delivered his ministry while he was in Palestine only to 2 tribes. And the ministry was not complete. That is why he claimed that he would leave them and go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And this is exactly what the Holy Quran means when it informs us about Jesus Christ that he was Rasulan ila Bani Israel, not Rasulan ila 2 of the tribes. Rasulan ila Bani Israel, the totality of Israelites. And he could not have performed his mission unless he had gone in search of the lost tribes and delivered his message, of course, partially to people, because it does never happen that the Prophet can deliver direct message to all the people to whom he addresses. But category-wise, he must deliver the message to the category to which he is raised. So it was the category of Israelites, not just 2 tribes of Israel. Hence he must have gone in that direction. Now this is one finger which is raised in the direction of somewhere where Israelites must have gone before. When we pursue this course with the help of the Christian historians and scholars who have worked on these things, it is on their authority that I assure you that both the people of Afghanistan and the people of Kashmir have been proved to be of the stock of Israelites by the Christian scholars themselves. It's not an Ahmadi scholar who has presented this new view. With the passage of time, they are more and more convinced that the stock of the Pathans, Afghans, and the stock of the Kashmiris is not a local Indian stock. They were the people who migrated throughout history after what happened, as I told you, in the age of Nebuchadnezzar, driven off further east, and they got settled down in Afghanistan, and on way to Kashmir they made many tribal areas of commands. So the Afghan tribes were settled in Afghanistan not as one single entity. They had their tribal chiefs like the Israelites had. And each tribal chief carved out a territory for himself. So the tribes got settled down in different places. That is why when you inquire about the Pathans, those who belong to Isa Khel, Musa Khel, all the names are biblical names, and their territories are also specifically defined. These are Isa Khelis, they are Musa Khelis, they are that Khelis and that Khelis. So this indication of the Bible is proved to be very seriously right. The scholars prove it, and the present nature of the tribal nomenclature and other things, the style of life, also further support this claim.